Welcome back to the Broken Port Podcast, everybody. I am Mitch. This is Josh coming back at you with another week of some tech news. A lot of big stuff happening this week. We're going to get into Nintendo, the future graphics cards, PS5 Pro coming out, along with the AMD 9800 X3D. Finally, maybe I can get my life together. And yeah, we got a great show. Check out the timestamps for what you might be interested in. Again, my name is Mitch, the guy who pretends to know what he's talking about.
And my name's Josh, and that's pretty much all I bring to this thing.
And you don't even bring that.
Yeah. Yo, Mitchell, how's it going?
Oh, not too bad. How you doing?
Oh, so happy that I took. It's a stat day for where I work on Monday. And today is Thursday of recording, and I took that Friday before off. I get paid for all of it.
Excellent.
4-day weekend. So it's
you gotta love those make your own long weekends.
Oh yeah. Especially when you have to like rearrange your whole entire bedroom. But I've got 4 days to do it, so I can just like take it easy.
There you go.
Yeah. So you? Anything new?
Not too much. I'm pretty happy that finally AMD released this new chip. Now I can decide what I want to do with the rest of my life. So we're gonna get into the 9800 X3D and stuff along here with the stories, but finally out. I can choose what I want. There's new updates and stuff for the BIOS and stuff of that chip generation too, so that helps out. But yeah, end of this month maybe I'm gonna get hopefully the rest of my parts.
Nice.
And I can do my build. So
wow,
let's go.
Maybe I should come down and film it.
That could be good.
That's a possibility. I picked up some new headphones.
Yeah, Josh is looking fresh.
Yeah, wooka. Yeah. Anyway, what's going on in Switchland, Mitchell?
So Nintendo switching it up, kind of.
They're pulling a Nintendont.
Yes. So big news. Nintendo's had all these announcements the past few weeks. None of them being the announcement that everybody has wanted. So just to kind of recap, they brought up there was the Alarmo, so like the Nintendo alarm clock.
Neat.
That's what everybody was hoping for.
Yeah.
Then
Nintendo's known for is getting you up out of bed.
They followed that up with a bigger announcement of Nintendo Spotify, basically. Where
I want to be the very best. No one here. No copyright strikes.
So, that's what everybody wanted, was listening to video game music while they're not playing video games. Apparently, a lot of people listen to video game music outside of the games. I'm not one of those people. But if you are, let us know.
A lot of office people use that for focusing. There's no lyrics, so they can just zone out while they're doing their spreadsheets and whatnot. Have you?
Yeah, I guess it's it can be a good ambiance in the background.
When you had a desk job, did you listen to anything, or were you just all focused all the time?
Oh no, I had podcasts and YouTube and whatever on, depending on what I was doing. If I could, if it was a big email day, then yeah, it'd be something that I can kind of listen to and whatever. But yeah, I mean, could go more. I would say more on the music side. If it was something I had to pay more attention to, because it's easier to zone out music and have it in the background than someone actually talking and you're trying to pay attention to news or something like that, right?
Yeah, for sure. So what was the Switch? What was Nintendo's announcement? Are we getting the Switch 2 next Monday?
So apparently not at all. What's happening is they announced features of the successor of the Switch 2 or whatever it might be.
Ooh, little tease.
So what they did was they said the new Switch, whatever it's called, the new Nintendo, is going to be backwards compatible with current Switch games. Now, they said all of your Switch software. So I don't know if that means it's going to be backwards compatible with the physical games. because that I feel like is a big thing to build in. I don't see the cartridges being the same for the new generation.
I can see a like it reading it either off your account, or you take a picture of the thing on the back of the thing, and that gives you a credit for it. But if I know Nintendo, and I think I do, buy it again.
Probably. This is probably going to create actually like a big controversy if it ends up being like you can play your digitals but not your physicals on the new one. Because I would say out of all the consoles, Nintendo has the largest like physical game buyers. You know, like, because for one, the game's actually on the cartridge, whereas like with PlayStation, most of the time it's just a license, doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo's games don't really go on sale much. They don't go down in value, so it's worth it to still buy it, use it. You can sell it or you keep it, whatever, because you actually have the game.
Yeah.
The point of physical games still kind of remains with Nintendo.
Yeah, I would say out of all platforms, Nintendo's the one that should be clinging on to it the most, because it's making the most relevant. Because you can go on Kijiji, you can get like Let's Go Eevee or Super Smash Brothers or Mario Kart for $25. It's on the store for $90 still. Okay. But it's got a really well-supported secondhand market, and that is driving, I would say, most of their users to stay on their platform, you know, and amongst the IPs and whatnot. But I'd say it's a good little boost for that ecosystem anyway.
Yeah. It's interesting because, see, also with that point, I can see Nintendo not liking that because it's money that they're not making, right? So maybe they'll want to do away with that. But I'm curious to see to
Mitch,
what level it works.
You can only piss off your customers so much, and then they become not your customers.
Yeah, but I feel that they don't see it that way.
Oh, anyway, you want to talk about stock prices or what?
I was actually looking up the other day the value of Nintendo, Sony, Microsoft, or not Microsoft, Xbox.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody else has better numbers than this, let me know.
Oh God, are you doing quick math again?
No, I'm not doing quick math. These are the values of companies. So Nintendo was worth around 58 billion.
Okay.
Sony was a similar amount, like 60-ish billion.
58, 60. Xbox? They were just bought for 69, weren't they?
No, Xbox bought Activision for 69.
That's wrong.
So
it's more than
Xbox worth. What do you think?
I would double that in a bit, so I'd go 158.
600 billion.
So
to everybody that says
doing my math right, these two numbers, and no one can see because of my bright ass lights, 58 and 60 are a little lower than 600, just a bit.
So Xbox bought Activision for more than Nintendo is worth. Yeah.
I divvy up my granola bars to see if I have enough snacks at the end of the week. That's what I do. Like, how is this relatable to anyone?
and it's funny because everybody talks about Xbox being like at the last place and all these things, but like Microsoft is worth like 3 or 4 trillion, and Xbox is worth 600 billion. Maybe that's changed since I read it the other day, but I mean, you gotta have money to be able to buy something for 69 billion. So Nintendo here needs to cater to their customers properly, because they're not number one in the world, and 58 billion is huge, but it's not the biggest.
No.
So
they're close to being, if they screw this up, if they screw this like if it's just not well received, or it is not relevant to what handheld gaming has become over the last 5 years, relevancy is in question.
Yeah, they need to do this right, because I think a part of them,
Next
even though
segment.
they're really like proud and they go after these people with emulators and all that kind of stuff, at the same time, I think they're very nervous because the Wii was on top. The Wii was everywhere,
Mm,
and the Wii U was nowhere.
mm.
The Wii U was a flop. Most people didn't even know that it was a new console. They thought it was like an extra controller or something. Like, it wasn't marketed well, it didn't do well, and it ended very quickly. So they went Wii U, Switch. Now what's gonna happen next?
Switch Wii.
It's the Swii U, the Swii U 2. So
And Mewtwo. Oh, they already did that one.
So in addition to the software, they're saying that Nintendo Switch Online is also going to carry over, which only makes sense. If they got rid of that and then started it all from scratch, that would lose a lot of their customers. That would cause an uproar, because there's no need for that. That's an online emulator, basically, that should just be able to carry on with all of those things,
That's
right?
just a streaming service almost.
Yeah. So just like PS Plus and Game Pass and stuff, that should be able to carry over now to the new generations. So yeah, these are the Nintendo announcements. So I'm curious to see how Nintendo does with this next generation whenever that happens. Probably will be announced sometime in March. I'm curious to the price too, because now handhelds are a lot more. Like,
I'm kind of like itching to get my wife a Ally, but then I just saw that it was 900 Canadian, and I was like, I'm good.
yeah, have you tried the Ally?
No, but I hear good things.
So here's the real quick thing before we get into the next story here.
But the claw is so much cheaper too. Sorry.
I wanted to get the Ally. I tried it at the store. It felt like trash, felt cheap, wasn't ergonomic. That's one of the reasons, like, your Steam Deck feels very premium. When you have it in your hands, feels very good. The Ally felt cheap, like I was gonna break it, and like the way the joysticks were and stuff, I didn't find it very ergonomic.
I think I got a lemon.
So
the battery is shot.
But I think because you have like the original one, they changed it, right?
And my wife was playing it today, and it just shut down. It was full battery. It just turned off. She's like, okay, turn it back on, boosting your game, started playing it. Everything was fine. Down again. And she's been max frustrated because she'll get to the point where she meets her save file that she just lost, goes to save it, and it doesn't. Anyway, so I don't know. I think I have to either return it or figure something out on that.
Yeah, the Legion Go, I think I would get over the Ally. The Ally X is more powerful, but over the regular Ally, I'd get the Legion Go.
Yeah,
because that I've tried, and that feels good. It has the biggest screen, I think, of all the handhelds that are around right now.
I'd like to hold the claw to see what that's like too.
Yeah, I don't think I've even tried that one.
But
anyway,
let us know.
The Steam Deck definitely feels very premium.
Let us know what you think about these handhelds and what you think about the Switch. And while you're letting us know all your thoughts and tearing us new ones, leave a like and subscribe and share. It's great. We're rolling around. We're doing good. We like it. We got kind of murdered with the elections going on last week, so is what it is. Maybe that video will slowly. It'll be a grower, not a shower. But yeah. So Mitchell, what's going on with graphics cards?
Graphics cards apparently are not going to last forever. I'm curious to see what happens with this, but it does make sense because really, like, you see what Apple's doing with their M series chips.
Yeah.
It's crazy power. It's crazy efficiency. It fits in a laptop or the little Mac Mini. You don't need these like graphics cards that are like, probably going to be 2 feet long by the 60 series. Like,
yeah,
it's really, really impressive. So there's a couple articles here that want to bring out when it comes to kind of the future of discrete GPUs. And one of them is from WCCFtech.com. This is from Ali Salman, and it's about the M4. It says the title is M4 Ultra GPU is estimated to beat the RTX 4090 across OpenGL and Vulkan APIs, but its advantage could only be witnessed in one benchmark. So the graphical performance to beat out a 4090, that's nuts. Honestly, even if it didn't beat it, if it was like a little bit worse than the 4090, to me that's still huge.
It doesn't have a card in it. It's just the one piece of silicon, isn't it?
Yeah, and right now, like if you buy a laptop with a 4090 in it, you can do that. That 4090 at best is maybe like gonna act like a 4070.
Oh, really? That
Yeah.
much? Oh,
yeah. It's not like maybe a 4070 Ti, but I think closer to a 4070. It would depend on the manufacturer, but it's at least 2 steps down. So 4070 Ti would be like a 4090 in like a Windows PC, on average. So it's yeah, that's huge. If you can get that performance in a laptop from not a discrete graphics card, that's cool tech that's coming into the future. I'm excited to see what happens with that.
Because what's cool about this, with like, I don't know if I'll ever get an M4 Ultra or whatever, but like, what's cool about it is like the tech from Apple always seems to eventually come down to the more mobile devices and whatnot. And if you look at in the past recent history, we have Apple making gaming an option on the iPhone, gaming an option on the MacBooks. Not a great option, not everything is supported, but they're kind of waking up to it. And by the looks of this benchmark, Geekbench 6, maybe they're encouraged to be like, oh wow, we could like take another market share if we like dive into this a little bit. Because they're great with the creatives, they're great with the professionals. Get the gamers.
Yeah,
have the trinity of computer use.
Yeah, if Apple leans into gaming, they can definitely take it at this point, because not meaning that they fully take it from PC, but people will do it because people love their Macs for like work and for creativity and stuff like that. So especially now with like, first of all, Apple left Intel first. They're like, no, we're gonna make our own chips. So Intel's out. Now, basically the only reason that Macs don't have good gaming now is because the games aren't developed to work on their chips. They have the power now, but since it's never been a draw, people have never gamed on Macs because either the performance wasn't really tailored to it or it just wasn't really a thing. Now that they clearly are showing that they have the performance, if developers start working to make their games run on Mac, it'll really take off, and that would put more pressure on AMD, on Nvidia, Intel doesn't really need much more pressure. They need a crutch.
I just wrote down some notes because I didn't want to forget to add it to this part of the cast. This is kind of a perfect storm, Mitch. I wrote perfect storm, and now I just circled it. And that is because of two little factors in the GPU space. All right, you have AMD. They make quality graphics cards. I know plenty of people that have them and enjoy them, but it's not their main focus. They're pumping out these X3Ds, AI. That's where the money pig is at. And you have Nvidia, Jensen. If he's not buying leather jackets, he's doing these like what are these like AI chips called again? There's like a big name, starts with an A, whatever.
What, APUs?
No, whatever. He's focused. Jensen is focused on the future of the internet becoming more popular in AI. So Intel is now crapping the bed over their chips. They just dipped their toes into graphics card with the Arc series. Didn't go well. What's the next series going to be like? Like, how many oops-a-daisies do you get before you just pack it in?
Yeah.
So if Apple's wise, They jump on this storm. Oh, you guys are abandoning your audience? I'll just take all that up.
Yeah, and
I
you know,
don't have my pen.
so many people, I think would game on like MacBooks and stuff if the games were developed for it.
Yeah.
Because even you think like
The
if you could
porting,
run
right?
games,
It's all like janky.
yeah. So there needs to be like the devs need to do it because yeah, there's certain things you can make work through like different to run it through this program and that program, whatever. But that's nobody wants to do that. Like if you're
Not
really
the
into
average
gaming,
gamer. No,
no,
you want a game.
That's more like if you have a Mac and in your downtime, like at work, it's like, oh, on lunch, I want to play this game a little bit. Maybe you'll dabble with that, but you're not going to do that for your main thing. But Apple could get even bigger of a market share and even more people buying their stuff if you were able to play all your games on it.
Yeah.
Because you think like a MacBook Air doesn't have a fan. I don't think the new ones still have fans. So you think you don't have to worry about these loud fans and it getting so hot and whatever. You can just play your laptop on your lap.
You know, it'd be neat.
And like
Steam on one of these things, but like all your library. And not having to worry about anything. That I think is probably their next big leap with architecture, working from the ground up to really kind of support this little move to gaming. But anyway,
yeah, because they had a couple things they advertised. I think it was like Resident Evil or something.
Yeah, that was a big push.
That was like in like the iPhone commercials.
Yeah,
that was the big like AAA game or whatever that you could play on it. Not that everybody plays that. So,
and I heard it was like a shorter version of the game too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I could be. Don't quote me on that, but I think I remember at the time hearing that. Yeah.
Okay. But I mean, if they can do that on the phone,
yeah,
they can do it. Like, come on, they can do it on the MacBook. So, yeah. But speaking of disappointing things and Intel messing things up as well, a quick note here. Another reason that graphics cards are maybe on their way out, we'll see what NVIDIA says about that. This here from PCGamer.com, Jeremy Laird's article says Intel CEO sees less need for discrete graphics, and now we're really worried about its upcoming Battlemage gaming GPU and the rest of Intel's graphics roadmap. So, Mr. Pat Gelsinger sees less need for these graphics cards. Basically, they're committing to Battlemage coming out. That's the next generation of their graphics cards. That's, I think, was supposed to come out this month. But maybe it's coming out next month now. I don't know. We'll see what happens. However, they're supposed to be like the Celestial and then the Druid. There's like, they have these names and they're all
the roadmap
in order.
Yeah.
So now we'll see if they continue after the Battlemage, because the Battlemage isn't going to kill it. That card is not going to like, wow, people. It's going to be better than the Arc. And hopefully it does well.
I just hope it comes near AMD stuff.
I don't think it's going to be enough for Intel to keep investing in it, because I think Intel has less and less money to invest or pay people.
Yeah. Intel, I was hearing today, U.S. government quite worried about Intel. It got booted out of the NASDAQ or something?
Was it the Dow?
The Dow or whatever, the big tech one. It got booted out. It wasn't making enough. Get out of here. This is an index. We're here to make money, not boo and who.
Okay, bye.
So I think the government has been talking to them, be like, listen, you're kind of our one horse in this industry. Go merge with AMD or Qualcomm.
Yeah.
Let's solve this.
Could you imagine if
AMD and
Team Red and Team Blue being the same team?
What color would that make?
Team Purple.
Donut?
No thanks. Do you have any fruit?
It says purple stuff inside. Purple is a fruit.
Purple. Purple's a fruit.
Imagine all of us tech nerds that would just be like, what is this about? The people that have been on one side or the other, they'd be losing their minds. It'd be hilarious.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sick.
But
let's hope for that future. We need a shake-up.
Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But speaking of gaming, Mitchell, and professionalism.
To professionalism.
You going pro or no?
I don't know. I kind of want to, but I got all this other stuff that I gotta get.
You got to build a computer. What are you doing?
I gotta build a computer, and then like I want to buy a Steam Deck,
and then you got to buy me another computer. It's just, it is what it is,
Yeah, and
What?
then like there's all kinds of things, but I want this Pro anyway, and
Yes, I buy
it's-
the pro.
but I'm gonna wait on it
I just bought the pro.
because I have enough. I have enough in my like PC budget that I could go buy the Pro right now, but I'm not gonna do that because
How far away do you sit from your TV?
Isn't that the money question? So, The Verge, The Verge.
They're
always coming-
such a
always coming
good
around.
source.
Always coming around to The
We
Verge.
love our bros at the Verge.
Yes.
Who's this
So
from? Sean
Sean-
Hollister?
Sean Hollister over here.
Hollister.
Hollister.
Yeah,
don't think
that's
so.
dyslexia in a nutshell.
Hollister, like the
Yeah.
store.
Yeah.
Abercrombie.
Buy
Abercrombie.
things.
Consumerism. So brings out some points about the PS5 Pro here. Is it worth it for you or not? One of the main points that Sean brings out in this article is how far away do you sit from your TV and how big is it?
Mm,
So to kind of give the gist of this point in the article, says measure your TV. Is it 55 or 65 inches? Do you sit more than 10 feet away?
Is it a Signia TV that is only 42 inches and it can only go 720i? Don't
And
get the
you're-
pro.
So if you're in that ballpark, so say I think 65-inch screen or smaller, and you sit 10 feet or more away from your TV, you're not really going to notice. Maybe you will. Maybe you have like great vision or you like really notice these things. Some people are really dialed in, but mainly you're not going to notice these little details. But if you have a bigger TV, let's say you have a bigger TV and you sit closer, you sit like, I don't know, 6 feet away. Yeah, you're going to see. It's going to be like, that's probably you every day watching TV because that's a big screen and you're right up there. And
Let's talk some features,
Whatever.
Mitch. This has two USB-C ports at the front. Does the normal one only have one?
so I forget if they changed it for the Slim, but I have the original PS5
Yeah.
and it has a USB-C and a USB-A.
Okay, so this has
one of each.
two USB-Cs, but they're 2.0, which is slow.
Mm.
Upgraded SSD, an expansion slot that still exists. The PS5 Pro has Wi-Fi 7. What's yours have? Is it 6E? It might be
It's-
6E.
I don't know if it's 6 or 6E,
Okay.
but hang on a second. What is pro about USB 2.0?
No, that's my point.
That's not pro at all.
Yeah.
It's a scam.
Remote play isn't necessarily enhanced, but it feels improved just by the virtue of better resolution on the PS5 performance modes. It runs cool enough that it failed to use it as a foot warmer yesterday. Little joke there. Many pro enhanced games have targeted rather than fixed frame rates. So you gotta watch out for that. The Pro can run non-enhanced games faster too if they have unlocked frame rates. PS5 Pro enhanced games have 120 Hz modes, potentially with lower latency. Ray tracing aside, the Pro feels weaker than my 5800X/3060 Ti gaming PC in early tests. This is pro if it was 2018.
Yeah. So
Dude,
Now,
don't buy
what-
this thing.
one thing with the consoles too is like there's always this comparison to PCs, and all of us in the tech space, yeah, we have a PC, we know all about these things. Listen, people that play on console, that just play on console,
Don't care.
they're not getting a PC. They're not going to play on PC.
Yeah.
They don't like. Some of them are going to think that PC gaming is no good because they don't understand. They think that back in the day, like for people our age, back in the day, PC gaming was kind of sketchy at best. You got a console because it was more reliable, it was solid,
Wouldn't
and
crash as much. Yeah.
yeah, and that was the general mentality. That was the mentality that I had when it came to it, because it was like, hey, unless I was like a computer genius, I just had to get like a PlayStation, and hey, all my games were there. It was a great time. Many people still have that mentality, and if you, whether it's other friends or people that I work with that game or whatever, they are not going to get a PC.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter about the price, okay? PC is a whole other ballgame. It's not just turn it on and go. You have to update drivers, you have to do all these things. Even though there's updates on the consoles, it's just, there's an update. Okay. There's no troubleshooting. There's none of that. If there is a problem, usually it's a warranty issue or something. Like, it's not, you don't have to be tech savvy to play on a console. But you do to a certain level to play on PC.
Yeah.
So people will buy this that are just console players. I have a friend that's probably going to buy it. And you know what? I would probably buy the Pro if I didn't have a PS5 already and I was thinking about getting one. I'd be like, you know what? Maybe I'll splurge, spend the extra. I'll get the best one. But I'm not inclined to buy it right now.
No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't. Our 37 apparently it has packs more of a punch.
Yeah.
So yeah. Speaking of PC gaming, Mitchell, if you're on a PC watching this, maybe hit the like button. Maybe hit the subscribe button. Maybe do all the things a good viewer does.
Maybe hit that share. Tell your friends.
That's if you're really sexy, though. Not everybody can pull that off. Can you?
If you're watching this channel, probably.
Yeah, all our views are sexy. So, what's going on in the world of gaming processors?
Finally, the AMD 9800 X3D super long name came out.
How long you been waiting for this?
I don't know. Ever.
A century.
Forever.
One actual century. So what's it look like?
So it's looking pretty good. Okay, there's a bunch of reviews, there's benchmarks and stuff. I've tried to kind of get together the best I could with this, but I'm still gonna have to decide which processor to get. Okay, because see, with this coming out, there's been BIOS updates and stuff like that for the 9000 series, which I've been waiting for as well, because whether it's the 9700X, 9900X, now the 9800 X3D, there were performance issues at first, because usually there are with new chipsets and with new chips and so on. So now this has come out and everybody, for the most part, is excited about it. Probably not Intel. If we go to this article here on PCWorld.com, this is by Brad Chacos and Adam Patrick Murray. This is entitled Ryzen 7 9800 X3D Review. AMD's new gaming titan obliterates Intel's best. Wow. Obliterates Intel.
Wow. Yeah. I just looked at the chart. Yeah. But speaking of looking at the chart, before you go off, I have a question. Why the hell does it seem that 1080p ultra settings is the standard for testing this stuff out? Guys, 2024. It's almost 2025. Can we bump it to 1440p at least, if not 4K? Like, let's try to enjoy our monitors that we spent multiple hundreds, our TVs multiple thousands. No one's running. Well, I guess people are running 1080p, but those are suckers. And if you're watching us and you're a sucker, I'm sorry.
But thank you for your time.
But you know what I mean? That's the standard.
I feel like the average consumer that's going to buy a chip like this is not going to run 1080p screen.
Yeah, man.
Are you?
Yeah.
Anyway. I'm not. I'm not going to spend all this money on the top gaming chip to run a 1080p screen. Why? Why would you do that? Why would you get a chip that's capable of like high quality 4K or really high quality 1440p to play 1080p.
But Mitch, esports, I can run Rocket League or Counter-Strike at 14,000 frames a second. Neat.
All right.
Neat.
Great.
Broken Port Media says neat.
That's like, I don't know, what's something else that's pro? Like hockey sticks. You can spend like
Yeah.
$500 on a hockey stick.
Or
But-
$80 for a decent-ish
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
You know, like, I don't know. Just get your priorities together.
Anyway,
Figure it out.
this is looking like it is pretty tasty though.
Looks good. And for me, I have to do some more research on it because if I get this chip, it needs to be good for not just gaming. And that's why I wanted to wait for it because, again, like the previous one, the focus was on gaming. So if you're just going to do gaming, perfect. If you're going to do other things, it was maybe not the best choice. So I wanted to see if they upped the productivity situation with it, or if it still is just good for gaming and it's, you know, you could do better with the 9700X for like video editing. Okay, well, then I'm not going to spend the extra because I need it to do both. That's me, right? Not everybody does that. Some people it's just a gaming PC. Some people it's just a productivity PC. Whatever you want, but I need it to do both, so I got to find that balance for myself, right?
For sure.
So from your kind of quick glance, what do you think about this for maybe yourself? Is this something you would look at or no?
Me.
Yeah.
Not the viewer. Okay. Josh, not at the moment. Not at the moment. It's just I'm still stuck on AM4, and yes, I would love to make that jump to AM5, and by golly, one day I will. But I don't know. Like I'm looking at the gains and like the 7800 X3D. Yeah, that is quite a bit of a jump actually. Yeah, I'd probably go with that, but like in a year or two from now. Let it come down a bit.
Yeah.
But that's just me being cheap and frugal, as a good gamer should.
Well, there you go.
It's time to move on from this subject and have a nice, friendly discussion about remote work. Mitchell, Big Tech is asking their employees to get back to the office, demanding that they do or leave. What is this all about? Is this about productivity? Is this about real estate? Hey, we got leases to pay for, and you're not using the office. None of this 2 days a week. You're in here full time.
Yeah, there's a
nice little Verge article that we have here.
Yeah, who's this one by? This is by Nilay Patel.
I'm glad you did that one too. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things that could go into this. Remote work can be good. Remote work can be not good. Sometimes you need to be at a location for your job.
Yeah.
It's just, things get done better. Collaboration maybe is better. And just certain things, maybe your job dictates that, but maybe it can also be the same on Zoom.
You can do both too. My wife, she has plenty of stuff. She's fully VPN'd into her workplace, secure USB, whatnot, can work on documents, all that legal crap. But eventually she has to make physical books. She goes in and binds them all. So like it can be a little bit of both. I just think we're going too crazy on the no this way, no 100% that way. What about if we're humans? What if we have issues? And I get that we need to be accountable 100%. And you probably lose a little freedom of, your work device not being looked at as intently if you're at the office because you're visible there. Maybe there's a little more oversight for these remote workers. Maybe that's the way to do it. But what this article is getting to is it's none of that. It is about silently, yes, silently, laying off people. Oh, no, I want remote work. No. Well, I'm sorry. You need to be back at the office or you got to go. Well, I'll just work for someone else. Ah, shucks. Well, we're not going to fill your position and we're going to save all that money because it's kind of a recession. So darn it. All right. If you need a reference, let us know. Bye. That's what it's essentially is all about.
Yeah, and I mean some of it too with like even the real estate side, which maybe they need to lay off people to either get out of a lease or be able to sublease something, because I've been into places, some like large tech companies, and they have maybe like chairs and desks set up for like 300 people. There's like 20 there
Oh,
because
20?
they're all
Wow.
there's all working remote. Maybe there's 50 people on a busy day at a 300. It's big. It can be a big place, and nice setup and everything. Like, looks like it would be a really nice office to work in. But yeah, people aren't there because they're working remote. And
Let's pour one out to all our like network engineers that have to be physically in the server rooms flipping Ethernet switches. They got to go in.
mhm.
They can't zoom that in. It's physical. So let's pour one out to those homies.
But yeah, it's very interesting. This shift, there's still, how long ago was it? I guess it's been a
Few years now.
few years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I still get all thrown off with the time frame of all that.
Dude,
It's like it was
yesterday
forever
was
ago, but it
2018.
wasn't that long, but it was like
Yeah.
But yeah, they're still figuring all this out. This like remote work, people moved like far from their offices as well because they were working
Yeah.
remote now.
Yeah.
They like maybe sold their house in the city, moved to the outskirts where they got more for their money.
Or a
'cause they
different
didn't have to
province
drive.
together.
Yeah.
You know how many people moved out to Nova Scotia and still kept their jobs in Toronto, Vancouver, or even Ottawa?
Yeah.
This is Canadian, but I know of a colleague of my wife's who moved to Scotland. And
Sounds pretty solid.
Then had to find other work when it got all. So it is what it is, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of ising what it is, DDoS, what is that? What it is about, Mitchell?
DDoS. So DDoS has nothing to do with the old DOS computers, if that's the first thing that comes to your mind.
It does. And now, I have a somewhat very preliminary understanding of this. Can I give that for you, and then you do the refinement?
Yeah, you go ahead.
All right. Say you got a YouTuber, and he's live streaming, and he's got this really sweet goal that he's just hit, and this chat's going. He's reading off the chats. He just accomplished his goal in the video game, and then his channel gets shut down out of the blue because somebody remote patched through to shut him down through his IP address or something. It's an attack to shut down a production or what have you.
Yeah, that's
wrong.
That's
an application of DDoS.
That's part of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, what DDoS, a distributed denial of service attack. There's a couple steps to it. So first, it involves what they call a bad actor. People will also call it a hacker, but not all hacking is bad. So the term commonly used now is bad actor. Basically, what this individual will do is they'll start off by, say, hacking into certain computers with malware, and they turn that computer into a bot for themselves. So let's just say, you clicked a link from an email you thought was from Purelator or UPS or whatever. Turns out it wasn't. Now this person has been able to get into your computer and control it. You might still be able to use your computer for now. It's not necessarily done, but they can use that control when they want it.
Do you even know?
You might not know.
Oh,
because it can be up to, depending on the malware that they use, it can be up to them when they want to actually put this into play. So your computer might still be usable until all of a sudden it's not, for when they use it for this attack. So basically what they'll do is your computer will become a bot, or it's almost like sometimes it can be described as like like a zombie computer, because it no longer has, its normal way of working. And so they'll do this to a bunch of people. They'll get a whole bunch of devices that they can all control at one time. All these bots create what's called a botnet. So it's a whole bunch of computers, devices, whatever, that they have control over. And then what they'll do is, to attack, they'll all say like log into a server at the same time. And this isn't like, they're getting like 10 computers, like it's like thousands, right, of computers, devices that they'll get to all flood whatever it is, like a server, for example, with
overwhelm the system.
internet traffic, so that it overwhelms the system and the system shuts down.
Okay.
And often these attacks, it's not just like, oh, they shut it down and now it's gone, it's back up and running. They'll use that to shut it down. Now the system is down. They'll often hold it for ransom, say, hey, pay us, and it can go back up. So there's a few Some of those are interchangeable, but basically it's someone will hack a bunch of computers to like get control of all these, and then they use all those computers like a big army to go overload like a server, for example, and shut it down. And usually it's followed up by some sort of like ransom attack. But yeah, that is DDoS. So big thing, cybersecurity, you hear it everywhere now. DDoS attack is one of the big things that happens very commonly. And yeah, that's what it is.
Still very actively today. Because I was hearing this, but like back in the day, like 2012, 2014, like channels getting just absolutely murdered.
Yeah.
Because of this. Yeah.
Yeah. So still happens. And yeah, they can use all kinds of things. Like it's not just computers. It can be like Internet of Things devices that they use. They just need that power and
bunch of
whatever.
pies, Raspberry Pis.
Yeah.
What kind of
whole big shot?
What kind of DDoS attack would you use? Say you were a bad actor. I don't believe a single line or your motivation.
I don't know. I think. Look, I haven't looked into it enough to see what you would need.
Okay, you're thinking way too much. But I'm like, we're designing a movie. What's your character's motivation? All right, so Mitch has no imagination. Me, ethical hacker.
There you go.
I'm an ethical terrorist. Eco-terrorism. I'm shutting down coal miners. We're not getting into anything political, but yeah, that's what I'm doing. And let us know down in the comments, what DDoS attack would you use? Please not against us.
Don't shut us down. We're just getting started.
All right. Well, we're not just getting started. We're actually almost at the end of the road, Mitch.
Oh.
And before that end of the road, we have a corner, and that is Create a Corner. Mitchell, what creator do you have?
Today I have somebody that many might know, Danky. A friend of Austin Evans, part of the same group. And yeah, Mr. Danky, Ken, as he's also known. Really great channel, solid, just
it's good
tech content. Yeah, very entertaining, has a great personality, funny, also not afraid to tell it like it is. He's got very entertaining takes a lot of the time too.
Yeah,
always great to watch.
He recently went to Japan and did a couple of videos about that. He did like a karaoke video that I watched.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, pretty neat.
So also does like Temu stuff like Austin does, and
yeah,
lots of gaming and phones and different devices and stuff like that. So
they even gave him an office in the Overclock building.
Yeah.
How do we get an office in the Overclock building?
I don't know. Maybe we call Austin. No. Maybe we call Matt.
Hey, let's just shut them out. Anyway, the tech creator I have is Tech by Matt. He you know, like I discovered him when you ever like watch your like usual YouTube feed and you're like, I don't feel like this kind of video. I don't feel like a data-driven video. I've seen this Linus video. Well, you go through the little suggestion, and that's how I found him. He's made $100 NAS. He's made $800 gaming PC. He's made a Temu $300 gaming PC, but he also made a PC out of a Wii, a sleeper Wii build.
That's cool.
So he does like really cool stuff. So go check out Tech by Matt.
Cool.
Send him our love.
Definitely will.
All right. Well, sad to say we've arrived at the end of our show.
Thanks for tuning in this week, everybody. I
Yes.
hope that you found what you were looking for
Yes.
this week. I think we had some solid stories. Nintendo,
A lot going on. A lot
Kinda
of
like-
meat to chew.
Nintendo kind of letting people down still. We had
That's just what they do.
yeah, maybe a bleak future for graphics cards. I don't know.
Not for me. Me and
Not
this
for you.
3070, we're gonna sail off into the sunset.
3070 forever for Josh. New PlayStation's out. PS5 Pro. Let us know what you think about it if you're planning to pick one up, and let us know how it does. If you do have the current PS5, you get that, you upgrade. Let us know if it's better, if it was worth it, if you recommend it.
Righty.
fine.
We've
Yeah.
done it. We've done it. We made it to the end of the show. What are you guys still doing here? Get out of here. Go. Movie's over. All right. I've been Josh.
And I've been Mitch.
And from Broken Port Media, Mitchell, do the honors.
Have fun out there this week. Tinker around and go break some.
Yeah.